some?
Yeah.
Here. Oh, sorry, I set my stuff there. I was ready to go. They wouldn't let me go before you. I don't know what that means. But you ain't first. I ain't first. First and owner.
All right, we are going to roll right into our post-race interviews. We are now joined by our regular season champion, driver of the number 19 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota, Martin Truex Jr. Martin, you won the inaugural regular season championship. You just won your second. How does it feel to have this momentum going into the playoffs?
Yeah, thanks. It feels great. I mean, obviously, at the beginning of the year, you set out to be the best. And, for the regular season championship, it's a huge deal. The 15 points that come along with it are really very, very, very important for the playoffs. So just really proud of my team, thankful, to turn it around from last year, missing the playoffs, to being here tonight is a big deal for all of us. So thankful to all our partners and everybody, that makes this happen. And, hopefully we can keep this going throughout the playoffs.
All right, we will go ahead and open it up to questions. We'll go ahead and start up here with Chris and then go to Lee.
Hey, Martin, congratulations, first of all. Chris Gollin with WNDB. I'm curious, did you run that race any differently, knowing the regular season championship and the 15 bonus points were well within your grasp from the green flag?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think, early on we kind of tried to do all we could to stay at the front and was fortunate enough to have our teammates around us and be able to get the stage 1 win. That was a big deal. And then, as soon as the 11 car had his issue in stage 2 and we kind of got shuffled back a little bit, I felt like I was in a really bad spot. I decided to bail, and luckily, I did, because they, huge pile up a few laps later. So didn't really get to race the way I wanted to once we, kind of got in that position. The 11 was lapped down, and we just kind of had to be smart about it. That was not a whole lot of fun, but we had to do what we had to do. So we definitely raced different than we would have, had the 11 not had his issues.
Lee?
Lee Spencer, CatchFence.com. Just curious, it seems like every time we come to Daytona, Talladega, the Fords are just lights out. I know you're kind of looking for your first super speedway win, but what do you observe from your keen eye that you see with those cars that Toyota's just missing a little bit, other than strength in numbers?
Yeah, there's a few things. I think strength in numbers is one. I think, obviously they're really fast. They're low drag compared to us, I would say, and that, is kind of why, we show up maybe at some better downforce tracks a little bit faster. And also, I think another key is they can just push really well with their bumpers, the way they line up. So our cars are fast. My car was really fast tonight. We don't have a lot of people that want to work with us, and our cars are a little bit squirrely when pushing or getting pushed. That's a kind of just one of those things we have to deal with. So it's a few different things. They have great drivers as well, and they have a good game plan. They stick together, so they're tough to beat here for sure.
You're not a real emotional guy, but from missing last year to being the regular season point champion, what does that say? I mean, it's just a testament to how the 19 buckled down and went to work.
Yeah, no question. I think, the 19 team, not only that, but everybody, JGR, TRD, Toyota, just as a whole, as a group. I mean, we've won a lot more races this year and had a lot more speed across the board with all of our cars. And, for me, just my guys really buckling down, like you said, and finding things that I need, finding things that stuck out that we could work on for me has been a huge help. So just it's fun to go to the track and have, know they're going to give me something I can go out and win with almost every single weekend. And, we didn't have that last year, but it's a lot of fun to race that way. And we've got it right now. Hopefully we can have it for 10 more weeks and go out on top here. Thanks.
Do we have any questions in the press box?
No questions in the press box.
Awesome. Thanks.
Do we have any other questions down here? All right, Martin, congratulations, and thank you for your time.
Send.
We will go ahead and continue our post-race media availabilities. We are now joined by Brad Keselowski, owner of RFK Racing. Brad, what does it mean to have Chris in victory lane for the third time for you as an owner, for Chris?
Yeah, just a really great day for us, RFK. And, a few weeks ago, we were sitting down and kind of going over the goal and visions and what we value. And one of the things we brought up was 1-2 finishes. And it's been a very long time since this company's had 1-2 finishes. I can't say a specific date, but it's something that means a lot to me. Of course, I wanted to be the one on the front of that, but proud nonetheless of Chris and his efforts and both teams where they've grown and come together and doing all the right things to grow us and to just take us to that next level. And today was just another kind of feather in our cap, and we're really proud.
Awesome. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions. If you have one, please raise your hand, and we'll get Mike to you. We'll start with Holly, and then go to Lee, and then Jerry.
Hi, Holly Kane with the NASCAR Wire Service. Brad, how hard was that? I mean, I know you're happy to finish 1-2, but was it a question of you knew you weren't going to get around him and you knew that was the best finish for you guys? Or just take me through, because I know that's hard too, to be the one that's second in that.
Yeah, well, the second is, first loser, but, we could have ended up in a ball of flames in 3 and 4 too, and that would have looked pretty dumb, Holly. So, the cars were certainly on the edge there at the end, and I got a good push from Eric Almirola. I was able to carry that through to my teammate Chris Buescher and clear him, but there were a lot of cars just breathing down their back, and it would have been really difficult, I think, to pull a move off without, probably wrecking both of us. So happy for Chris. We still achieved one of our big results. Of course, we wanted to win today, but we wanted to get 5th in the regular season points and kind of take all those bonus points with us into next week from, being 5th rather than being 11th or 12th, whatever it was we could have fallen back to. And that's going to bode well for us in the playoffs, I'm sure. Every year you see somebody get knocked out by 1 or 2 points, and that's great defense for us against that. But, we look at the races to come with Darlington and Kansas and Bristol, Darlington being one of my favorite tracks. We've ran really well there and coming off of 2 really strong races and at Darlington. And then Bristol being a race we won at and had dominant cars with last fall. There's a lot of energy for us and a lot of great racing to look forward to.
We'll go to Lee and then to Jerry.
Lee Spencer, catchfence.com. You kind of called your shot because you told TJ, I think Chris and I need to come to the pit road together and we can win this race. I mean, you were that confident.
Yeah, I know we've had great cars here at Daytona and Talladega, and at the end of the race, we seem to get broke up for whatever reason, or circumstances just fall apart on us, and that's been frustrating. But I feel like we've had a shot to win the last really 3 Daytona races, and they've kind of slipped through our fingers with different circumstances. But I was confident that if we could keep together, Chris and I, that this one would be a little different.
And Joey had a front row seat for watching you guys finish 1-2, and he said Brad taught Chris everything he knows.
Well, I'm trying, but Chris knows a few things on his own, and he's growing. He's in a spot where he can win races like this in a deserved fashion, and he's got a lot to be proud of.
I think you meant restricted plate tracks, but
Yeah, well, it's still good, right?
Go ahead, Jerry.
Jerry Jordan kicking the tire side. And that was a year that, Roush Fenway didn't make the playoffs. And, here you guys got both cars in. I think you're maybe the only team that has all your cars in. You talk about satisfaction and things of that nature. How does this feel as a team owner for doing this? I mean, obviously it would have been nice to get up there, as you were talking last week, to get that win, though.
Yeah, tremendous to get up front and to be able to control races and, just execute at very high level while also having the pace and just earn it. We're not winning races that we don't deserve to win. And, you'll certainly have races that you lose that you probably deserve to win. But, that probably goes both ways. But, I think you look at the wins that the RFK's had this year, and they're not fluke wins. They're earned wins. And we're proud of that. But come Monday, all this kind of washes away, and we're focused on the 10 weeks to come. And so we got to soak it up, celebrate the wins, but keep moving forward.
We'll go to Deb.
Deb Williams, Auto Week. Brad, exactly what happened when you were going in circles back there, and I believe your car was on fire?
You're the first. I did not think it would take 4 or 5 questions to get to that one. Well, Deb, I was sitting there under red flag, and it just started smoking really big out of the left front rocker panel, and I knew what that meant. I mean, it was about to catch fire. and I was going to get knocked out of the race. And the only way to stop that was to get air moving through the car. Of course, being under red flag, I had to improvise, and there was a pad at the bottom of the racetrack, and I knew I couldn't drive around the racetrack without getting in serious trouble, but I figured I could get away with driving on that pad. So I just ran on that pad until the flames and the smoke disappeared, and called it good. It's hard to say. Most likely it came from the foam insulation overheating as the car was sitting with stagnant air. Hard to say if some of the foam broke up in the race and dropped on the exhaust, or if the exhaust cracked. There's a number of things that could have caused it, so it's not really fair for me to speculate. But once it happened, I knew I had to do everything I could to fix it, or the car was going to catch flames and burn down to the ground, and we were going to be out of the race. No problem.
Are there any questions in the press box?
No questions from the press box.
Okay, we'll come down here to Dustin.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. First to answer your question, March 2014, Bristol, last time the organization won to Edwards and Stenhouse.
Good.
I think you were 12th in that race.
So 9-10 years ago.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks for pulling that up, Dustin. Racing reference.
The folks at Racing Insights.
Oh, okay. Competitor. I'm sorry. Yeah.
To get the stage win, to get a playoff point, I think you probably may have moved up a little bit in the standings
Yes.
to get another playoff point. How do you look at that, and how does that, I know it doesn't balance not winning, but you always seem to look at big picture type of stuff, so how do you look at big picture and what you attained tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to measure all the things that a night like today will do for us as a company, but I'm sure they're all going to be positive. You know, we'll kind of work through what that means, but we're building something that's going to be special for a long time, and that's a big goal of mine. And I'm proud of everybody and the team, and certainly Chris for his efforts. But you know, the bigger picture is to have a sustainable race team that can win for championships for years to come, and you know, be a perennial championship contender. And you know, today was good progress for that on that front. And 1-2 finishes are huge for teams. You know, this was certainly another case of that for us. No problem.
Are there any final questions in the media center? All right, Brad, congratulations. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Glad to hear Ryan's awake and alert. So, you got any updates on Ryan? No?
He has been transported to a local hospital.
Thank you. Hope he's all right. Appreciate it, guys.
We will go ahead and continue our post-race media availabilities. We are now joined by our race-winning crew chief, Scott Graves. Scott, congratulations. 3 for the season. Can you tell us how you guys did this?
How about this? All right. Thanks. Yeah, just a lot of things went right for us at the end. There was one point where we were kind of caught up in the big wreck and had to do a little bit of work on the car, started at the back, but Chris was able to work his way back up, and then that final pit cycle, we had a really good cycle there with the group that pit, and our cars all came out, you know, in really good position to control the race there towards the end. And then obviously having Brad with us was huge. I think, and obviously that was the key, that having our 2 cars lined up and being able to work together like that. So we owe him a big thanks, but pretty cool to see both RFK cars up there running 1-2 and get that finish. It's been a long time coming into a Speedway race for us.
Awesome. Congratulations. We'll go ahead and continue. If you have a question, please raise your hand, and we will get a mic over to you. We'll start over here to the right.
Chris Gollin with News Daytona Beach. First of all, congratulations on the win. You guys have 3 wins on the season now. This is, you know, this is, I think, higher than a lot of people projected you guys coming into the season, and I mean that in the best way. Do you guys feel like you're a championship favorite at this point?
We're contenders for sure. You know, I think in the last month or month and a half, we've really seen a lot of growth with our team, with what we've been able to do, and just the execution of what we've been able to do through the races has really come together, and it's really coming together at the right time. So I do believe that we can be serious contenders through this through the chase. So really looking forward to it.
Do we have any questions down here in the media center? We'll come down here to Lee.
Is this as unbelievable to you as it is to us? Because, I mean, it's not that the kid doesn't have talent, but my gosh, you didn't have a 3-win season on your bingo card when the year started.
No, I mean, I was talking with a couple of guys about it in Victory Lane. I mean, all the years of trying and like and just struggle and everything that goes with it, and it's so hard to win at this level because, I mean, everybody is so good, and right now it's just kind of clicking off, falling in place. It seems a little surreal that it can happen like that. But I'm obviously super excited about it, and can't wait to go get more.
What is it about this car that makes it so difficult to win?
Just everybody is so close. I mean, it really takes a whole team. It takes the driver. It takes good engineers in the setup. I mean, people at the shop putting everything together right. It takes the pit crew. And I mean, right now it's the most complete, team that I've been a part of. I think I've said that a few times. It's really come together from that side of it, and that's what it takes. It's like just the mistakes are so hard to overcome now. If you have them, it's so hard to recover. So it's just been that part of it's just been working really well.
Are there any questions in the press box?
No questions from the press box.
Are there any further questions down here? We'll wrap with Dustin.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Scott, obviously it's not one person that makes an impact, and it's everybody in the shop. But certainly, we'll look at a big change with Brad coming over a couple years ago, and a lot of changes that we could see, and a lot of things maybe we didn't see. How has he impacted the organization? How has he maybe changed the direction or steered the ship in a different way?
I mean, I give Brad a ton of credit for what we've done and how far the company's come along. I think it started with, appearance of the building. I mean, first thing is everything was, redone, and, fresh paint, floors were redone, everything. Okay, that established, here's the look. This is what he wants. And then really it's just kind of trickled down into everything. Everything. It starts at that level, but then, everything you work on is kind of the expectation is that it looks at that same level of detail. And then, he's really worked hard to push for the tools that we need as teams. It comes at a expense, right? It's a lot of money that maybe in the past has been that's not really necessary. You don't need that. But he's really pushed to help the teams get what we need to be successful. And I feel like he's kind of cleared the path for that and allows us to work on the things that we've always felt like we were good at. Now we're getting to show that, and we have the tools, and we kind of have that clear path to go work on things and make it right.
And also, you have seen these cars get upside down in some violent rolls, in your car in particular before. Not going to speculate on the 41, but just how you've seen the safety of these cars and what you've experienced in your situation, and what the cars can do, and even NASCAR's response after an accident like what you went through. Yeah,
I mean, obviously we went through that last year at Charlotte. Chris flipped several times down the front stretch there, but he came out of it relatively unscathed. So from that standpoint, I'd have to say it was pretty safe. I know there have been some things that that have come up. Working on obviously trying to soften the front clips. NASCAR has been very responsive on trying to when something does come up, react to it. Don't know a lot of details, like obviously on the 41 and what happened tonight. Hopefully everything's okay there with Ryan. But like I say, so far from what I've seen, it's been been very safe. Obviously, there were, like I say, there were some issues, but I feel like NASCAR has reacted fairly quickly to those things to try to address them.
All right, Scott, thank you for your time. Congratulations and good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.
Hey, Chris, nice of you to join us.
I mean, I figured I would show up at some point.
Sorry to inconvenience you.
And we're going to go ahead and wrap up our post-race media availabilities with the winner of tonight's race, Chris Buescher. Chris, congratulations. 3 wins on the season. Talk about this year, your team, how you guys have been able to do it.
Yeah, unbelievable. At this point, there's been a lot going on, and certainly talked about after even Richmond itself, but surely after Michigan, talked about kind of hitting our momentum at the right time, and this is another big step in the right direction. So, I think first and foremost, this was as much RFK win and Brad's win as it was ours. I mean, that was the exact push we needed for the entire 2 laps coming back to the checker, and we wouldn't be sitting up here without him and us executing that way. It's what we've tried to do when we've gone speedway racing. Kind of committed to it at a lot of places. Here in the 500, led all the way to 3 or 4 to go, and then ended up getting separated. So we've planned this out. We've worked hard to find ourselves in these situations. We've just been needing to capitalize and close the deal in the last 2% of these races, and we're finally able to do that tonight. So huge moment to do it here at Daytona, to close out the regular season this way. Surely a big moment for us. Great momentum. I hate even saying it like this, but probably good for points and what we got ahead of us as well. And we've got some really fun racetracks coming up for us that we've been really excited about even before getting that checkered flag tonight. So certainly pumped up for where we're at as an organization, the momentum we've had, the consistency, and the flexibility we've had at all different styles of racetracks. So. I think it's safe to say we're going to be a contender as we head into the playoffs now.
We'll go ahead and open it up for questions. We'll start right here to right, and then go to Jerry.
Hey, Chris. Chris Collins, News Daytona Beach. First off, just congratulations. I actually want to ask you the same thing I asked your crew chief, which is now you got 3 wins going into the playoffs, which I think it's safe to say you guys exceeded expectations. I'm wondering, do you feel like you guys as a team are a championship favorite?
I think we're a contender. We still have work to do. I don't think we're under the illusion that says it's has to go through us and us only right now. We've got tracks we still need to be better at, and we've got work to do as a group and as a team to get in the hunt. But I surely feel confident about our ability to drive through the playoffs and feel like we could certainly be a contender in this thing. So I feel like I'm not able to get up here and quite say that this is ours, it's in the bag. But there's been definitely several teams that have been very very stout this season as well, right? And 24 is on 5, so we're going to have a hard fight, but we're in a heck of a spot and couldn't ask to be any better right now as we head into really the time that last season we kind of hit our stride on the year. With Darlington is one of my favorite racetracks. Bristol's my favorite. So heading back to where we got that win last year is obviously that puts a lot of confidence in us. And then Kansas is a place we've been pretty fast at in the past too. Just got to work on a little more execution. So you look at the first round. I'm excited for it, and as we keep moving through, and everybody will tell you everybody's had bad luck through the season. I'm under no impression that that's not the case. But just think about our year about this time or into the playoffs last season, and able to be leading at Texas when we had a tire failure there, and ran so competitive at the Roval. I mean, there's really good opportunities for us still to come. So Yeah, I mean, I feel very confident that we have a lot of potential over the next 10 weeks here.
We're going to go to Jerry and then to Edgar.
Jerry Jordan, kicking the tires.net. Back in January, we all came over to RFK and went and toured and had lunch and worked, the workout room there. And you told us that this was going to be a different year. And is this win this season, but specifically tonight, closing out the regular season, is this more of a statement of that, kind of a statement win for you?
I would say that it's it's for RFK in a lot of ways. We know how much has gone into to getting everything to look like it does right now for y'all to be able to come in and the Human Performance Center and the investments that have been made by our group. It's really cool to see. I've been there for 15 years at RFK, right, and seen it in a lot of different scenarios, and so proud of it right now, and realize the work that's gone in and to get it to this point right now, and to get it to what it looks like and what we're able to accomplish and how competitive we are, and also realize that came at a rather large inconvenience for a lot of our people through the times as well, and that it wasn't easy to do this. So I think it's for everybody at RFK as a whole that says, look, this is what we did. We know it was hard. We know it didn't make sense to everybody at all at one time, but that it's worth it. Like this is a result of putting in that effort and really working hard to find speed at all these different styles of racetracks. So for us, I'm proud for selfishly our own group as much as anybody else, and not to make a statement to anybody else other than ourselves that this is hard work paying off for us to be able to be here right now. And yeah, I mean, heck of a time to do this, right, as we head to the playoffs. Certainly gets everybody pumped up. Get to put another trophy sticker on our wall of success, I guess. But how we grade ourselves internally, we get to add more stickers up there, and I don't know, it just makes me happy for everybody within our group that's put their blood, sweat, and tears in this thing to make it successful. I'm just fortunate to be up here and get to be covered in champagne and talk to y'all at the end of the evening. But a lot of moving pieces to get to this point.
Your career, your Xfinity Series successes, we know how you got your first Cup Series win and things like that. But this season has been kind of a breakout for you. Is that? Do you go into the playoffs kind of, with your chest pumped out a little bit?
A little bit. I mean, it's certainly before Richmond, this was it was a highlight year for me on the Cup side. Been running here since 2016, and if you go through the years, it's been just a steady progression, nothing earth shattering, and have kind of worked hard to find our way, but certainly. Last season felt like we did a lot of good things, but it took us too long to get there, and we ended up missing the playoffs, being able to win a race in the playoffs, not participating, but certainly felt like that momentum would carry over into this season, and it has. We've been competitive at a lot of places. We've had chances to win a lot, and for me, that's certainly a highlight year for myself and for our group. So yeah, I mean it makes you feel pretty confident as we head into the playoffs, knowing that certainly the last 5 weeks have been massive highlights, but there's been a lot of days and a lot of finishes that I've been very proud of throughout the season, and that's combining those with what we've done here as of late. That's what gives me the most confidence heading into the playoffs, is that we're going to be flexible and we're going to be good at lots of different places.
We'll come down here to Edgar.
Yeah, Chris, Edgar Thompson, Orlando Sentinel. So you win Pocono as a rookie, I'm looking at, and then I don't know all the circumstances there, but then you go a long time without.
That's good. That means the history books didn't give all the circumstances. It just says win.
Okay.
So
yeah,
that's what everyone said it would do. So I'm glad that's there.
Well, it goes. You went a while, changed teams a time or two. How'd you stay the course? Just what was the key to kind of maintaining confidence and positivity?
I mean, it's hard. I would say I don't know everybody's stats, but if you went through our garage area, everybody has been winners throughout their careers, from starting off, whether it was quarter midgets or legends cars, late model racing. Everybody in our series is winners, and it's hard to not win. It's hard to be a competitor and not win, and so certainly difficult through years where you feel like you're doing your best to run 15th at times. You get excited when you can get to a top 5, and then you get a second place along the way, and you're mad that you were that close and couldn't get the job done. So it has its ups and downs, but certainly the realization that your successes through the years have gotten you to the top level of motorsports, that it's going to require a lot of work and dedication to be able to get those checkered flags and those wins, and it's going to be a matter of surrounding yourself with the best people that can help you get there. That's what keeps you going, knowing that there's always a build-up, that there's always progression, and I feel like we've been really close at lots of times through the years, and in seasons past, maybe there's been 3 highlights on a season, and that's not many, right? When you come off and you're used to winning every other week at your local short track, but certainly this season has kept you in much better spirits as we go to each racetrack, thinking that this is a great chance for us to at least compete for a top 10 consistently, and in a lot of places feel like we're going to be competitors to win.
And getting with Rouse in 2020, how big a game changer was that, and in what ways was it?
Yeah, so I've been with Roush since I was 15 years old. So I've always been under the umbrella here. So you're good. But it was a homecoming of sorts, right? To be back in, for the first time to be in a Cup car for Roush. Spent a lot of years at the shop in Concord, working in the shop, putting other drivers' seats in what I felt like were my race cars. Eventually downgraded to the special projects guy because I think I worked too slow and they just needed me out of the way. But got to know a lot of people within our entire facility, and got a ton of friends throughout our building. So coming back and being able to, reunite with those people has surely made it a lot more rewarding to have the successes now.
Do we have any questions in the press box?
No questions from the press box.
Okay, we'll go to Holly and then to Dustin.
Congratulations, Chris. And
Thank
I
you.
apologize if you answered this. I was doing a couple of things, but Bubba, after the race, declared his love for you and says that this is makes everything cool. Just kind of your thoughts on that.
No, it was. I heard afterwards that they made the playoffs as well. So certainly know how fun that is, and how that's a good measure of success on your season. So from going back to those Roush days, right, where we had 4 Xfinity cars and it's us as teammates along with was it Sadler and Ryan Reed, right? So spent a lot of time together and raced around each other a lot, and kind of have been on different paths for a little while, and to have him come to Victory Lane was certainly cool, and congratulations to them as well for making the playoffs, because that's it's hard to do, and we know that because we've been trying for a lot of years, but it's a big accomplishment.
We'll go to Dustin.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. I know you've gone through a lot here lately. Have you had a chance to see Ryan Priest's accident, and what do you see from your viewpoint if you've been able to look at any replays?
No, actually Bob offered me a chance to see the replay, and I didn't want to see it yet. But I did. Ryan is a good friend of mine, and also my spotter, him and Ryan are close as well. So at least while we were at Victory Lane, got word that he's at the hospital, that they're running through a lot of stuff, and that he is doing well. So that's good to hear. Obviously don't know the full details, and all I seen was just little frames of it while we were under caution, and didn't realize it for 2 or 3 laps. I don't think. I just seen that car was in the infield down the backstretch, and the nose was messed up, and I guess it just happened to be down the front straightaway when it was on one of the monitors, and realized how wild that one was. No clue the cause, no clue how it actually got to the extremity that it did, but certainly glad to hear that he's doing good and that he's still getting checked out, but definitely hoping the best for him.
He's posted a message on social media, so he's
Awesome.
posted something out there saying he says I'm coming back.
Awesome.
I know every accident is different, so I don't want to be comparing apples and apples, but can you give a sense of
You're going to ask me what it's like being upside down.
well,
aren't you?
you know, yours kind of, once it hit the ground, it really kind of picked up, and his was
Yep.
one that at one point it really kind of rotated rather quickly. Now, he rotated more than 10 times, so it was nothing like yours in that sense. So
Yeah, anything at Super Speedway races is scary when you have upside down moments, right? So, my rookie season with Front Row when we flipped at Talladega wasn't a bad one whatsoever. Very slow. The only thing that hurt was landing back on all four. The Charlotte rollover certainly knocked me around a good bit and jarred me. So, I think I would compare it more to that one from what I've seen. Certainly looked very violent and very airborne. So it beats you up. It's no, like I said, I haven't seen it, so I don't know how big of a sudden stop or one major impact along the way. I just know that it was painful just in the fact that it's knocking you around so many different directions so quickly. It just doesn't feel good. There's no way to go about it now. Appreciative of how safe our race cars are, and I think that as an industry, sometimes we forget that it is dangerous still, and that can certainly lead to some of our wilder moments. But it's a dangerous sport, and we know that getting in. Sometimes we push it a little too far to the back of our minds, and got to remember it. So I like I said, without seeing it, to be able to give too much, but that I know that it was jarring just from the little bit that I have.
Are there any further questions for Chris? All right, Chris, thanks for your time. Congratulations.
Awesome. Thank y'all very much. Have a good evening.
See you media day. Thursday.
I get to ask you all the same questions.